Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. I'm excited on so many levels to have Rob Lynn with me. We are kicking back off Heroes Always Welcome. Rob is a veteran and he is the veteran owned business person behind Future Home Loans. I'm excited to talk to him. It's an honor to be part of the company now. And I love the fact that I can highlight, spotlight, and help out veterans now at a company that also believes the same things I do about helping out vets. Welcome, Rob. How are you today?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I've been so excited to get on the TED Show. So
The
I feel like I finally made it.
You made it. Watch out for the autographs pounds afterward. So Heroes Always Welcome is so important to me because I do so much work in the community to give back to veterans, to spotlight some of the needs that they have. And of course, on the lending side, a VA loan is just one of my favorite things to talk about. And I think that we have to do a better job in our industry educating realtors on how that is a fantastic loan opportunity and that they should take it more seriously. But that is for a future show, maybe. I want to take a deep dive so people can get to know you. So share a little origin story with them. Give them a 411, kind of how you got from point A to point B here at Future Home Loans.
Sure. So grew up, I was an Army brat. My dad was in the Army. Both my grandparents were military. My granddad Army and another one in the Navy, both fought World War II. So I grew up kind of always knowing I was going to, kind of serve at some point. So went through high school, played football in Orlando at Lake Howell High School down there, graduated in 92. I know I don't look it, but yeah, 92.
You don't? 92. Wow, that's 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of went off, played college football for a couple years, and then joined the military. I went in the 90s. So, I appreciate being on the show with you, talking about heroes. But, I was really more in the Boy Scouts compared to what, the heroes are really going through the last 10, 20 years of military service. It's definitely up the notch. And, my line is I got way more out of them than they got out of me. But, I was there.
What was the impetus behind it? Like, I know you had the history, but if you're in college, did you just say, all right, so that's just college is one thing, but I feel like I need to give more. I want to do more.
I wish it was
the reason.
I wish it was that, that heroic. It was I dropped calculus and I took up square dancing. I got an A in that class, but my GPA was like 2.2. And I realized I wasn't going to be a professional football player. And, I got back home and my dad had 3 recruiters lined up the next 3 days. Air Force, Marines, Army, Navy all came by. And it wasn't like a you ain't got to go, but you can't stay here moment. It was kind of what it was like. And I took the tests and I did really good on the tests. They were a language school test was really interesting to me. So I got the opportunity to go study Russian in Monterey, California for about a year and a half. So that was really once I started looking at that seemed like a once in a lifetime opportunity that I couldn't pass up on. And I was up there, kind of messing around, and now it was time to take stuff seriously.
And so your service, tell us a little bit about your service. You served. You obviously are not in the service anymore, and that was the 90s. When you got out, what happened next?
Yeah, so I got out in 97. I was in for 4 years. I had top secret security clearance. I was at Bragg, Fort Bragg. I had language school, and really I wanted to get finish my college degree up and go to the CIA was my dream job.
Good to know.
That was kind of what my plan was, and then went back to school, graduated real quick, and then my mom got sick. She had cancer. 98, we found out about it, and kind of moved back to Jacksonville to be closer to her as she was going through some of her treatments, and got a real job, and one thing led to another, and Russian linguists wasn't quite as of a hot commodity anymore after the 9/11, and
Right.
it was all Arabic those days. So I've realized sales was not a bad thing. I was pretty good at it, and yeah, I've been selling stuff ever since.
So what led you to lending though?
I really like saving money. Saving money is a passion of mine. I really like people and numbers. I'm good with numbers. So I got a call center job as a mortgage person, and within 3 or 4 months, I was the number one person on the floor just because I loved it. It was like everything lined up for me to be kind of the perfect job. I could approach every customer that I talked to and put myself in their shoes, like I was sitting in the living room with them, and really do my best to help them. And it was after the crash of '08, so we were talking to some people that were in some pretty bad situations. It was a stressful time. It was, some folks we kept families together, some folks we kept them in houses. So it was, we took a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of upset people too. So we just ran the gamut of emotions on any day's work. But when you hear that person tear up on the phone because that you're going to save their house, I was like, man, I'm hooked. It was awesome. It was for me.
I love that you share that, because I think people sometimes view our real estate community as all money oriented, on to the next Bentley or champagne and diamonds and all of that. But in reality, we are helping people. We are really making a difference in their lives. And especially back then, you were really making a difference in people's lives, because we were in such turmoil. I remember that time very well. And I'm here to tell you that I don't necessarily believe we're headed that way again. But a lot of Chicken Little.
Yeah, it's a total different ball game now. I mean, we've got different challenges that are extreme challenges. Don't get me wrong, but it's a whole different ballpark now. And yeah, it's a fun job, and that's kind of our culture here. And that's why we love having you and bringing you into the family. It's more about people than anything else.
It's all about people, and I love the culture. But I want to ask, it's one thing to be a call center guy, number one, helping people, and it's another thing to form a mortgage company. Talk about what made you decide to take that leap.
Yeah, we were sitting in the, it was computers were so slow, and I'm one of those, if I'm working, I need to be multitasked out to 15 screens at the same time. I'm gamified when I'm doing my job, and it was slow, and we weren't treating customers very well. And, it was like, why? There's got to be a better way. Like, why? How is this the best way? So I just started looking, reading, researching. Mortgage brokers had just took him really all the blame for the '08 crisis. And, it was really a bad word back as recent as 5 years ago. But I did some research on what really caused it, and was like, hey, I think this is going to come back, because, it is the best place for a customer. It's the best place for a loan officer to work. It's the best place for a realtor partner to refer business to. It's the best of all worlds. It's like getting a custom made suit at, the clearance rack pricing. And, I said that because you're the best dressed guy in the company now. But that's what we can provide. So yeah, I took the leap. I had been fairly successful, so I didn't need to make a lot of money day one. And, we scraped by for 2 years of, really growing hand to mouth and putting every penny we had back into the business and helping it grow and scale and build that foundation, which took a lot of time and effort.
Sure. You can feel it. I've worked in the industry for a long time. What I love about one of the many things I love about Future is the culture. And that's a word that gets thrown around like a crazy buzzword a lot. And there's a whole lot of hoopla behind it. But I can tell you that when you are at a place, a business where there actually is that culture, and the culture is a positive one, because we can all have culture. Culture doesn't mean it's positive. It could be negative too. Future has a positive, supportive, collaborative spirit built into the culture, and you can feel it. It's palpable.
Awesome. So it's great to hear that.
It goes to everybody who's part of Future. I I just was up in Jacksonville for an event, the Future You series with Nick Lavery, another veteran slash active duty. I mean, he is a machine, literally. And we give back. So talk about the things that, in your experience, we've done for as Future in the community, because I feel like being a veteran-owned business is something great, but we all put our teeth behind it. We mean it. We put blood, sweat, and tears into it. Just being a veteran-owned business isn't just a saying or a tagline.
Yeah, it's so, we're local and we're based started in Jacksonville, but we're local in Orlando now, thanks to you and the several good LOs that we've got down there now. And it's super important that you partner with somebody local that can really invest in your community. We are out there every day. We're in the streets with you. We're spending money at your restaurants. We are the community with you, and everything that you put back, we're going to put back into the community. We've got events going 2 or 3 times a week now. It's it's hard for me to keep track of sometimes. I had we got an event tomorrow with the chamber. We're doing something Thursday with Fast 50. We're second year in a row. We're going to be one of the fastest growing companies in Florida. We got that honored. So it's nonstop with us to really be local and grassroots. We don't put a lot of money in the TV ads. You'll see some of our competitors. Oh, we're not really competitors, but you'll see some advertising and stuff from some of the famous mortgage companies. But you're going to see us at your kids' school. You're going to see us at the soccer fields. You're going to see us at that veterans event where we're feeding veteran families. You're going to see us out in the community every day, and that's how we built our brand, and that's one of the things I'm most proud of.
It's absolutely true. If you do any research on Future Home Loans, you try to keep up with all of the stuff that we do across our markets in our communities. I want to touch just a little bit on the VA loan for the realtors that may not want to look at a VA loan when it comes in on an offer, because that's usually the pushback you get. They have some crazy perceived notion that VA loans are tough to do, that they're a challenge, that they take longer. Can you actually give us a little bit of education on that? Because I think it's so important for realtors to understand how amazing the VA product actually is.
I'd love to. And first of all, let me speak directly to you guys. It's understandable at times, because what happens a lot of cases, if you got these big box lenders that are based out of these call centers and who knows where, and you got a brand new LO on the phone that doesn't know what they're doing, and there's lack of accountability, there's blame and that needs to go around, and there's reasons that reputation's been has grown, and it's really because of negligence on the lender side. So I want to apologize to you guys first and foremost, and let you know we're not going to be negligent. We're the number one VA lender in Florida right now. As a broker, we do 30, 40 a month right now as part of our 150 or so loans that we do it a month, and they're awesome. The things that can go wrong with a customer, Ted, it's cash to close. Well, the VA doesn't need any money down. Appraisal issues. Yeah, they do check it for safety stuff, but we've got 2 to 3 opportunities to overcome any appraisal issues. Like no other loan type has that ability. It's actually the best loan that we can do. We've got better terms. We provide better rates. That's more purchasing power when you don't have to come up with a down payment for the veterans. They all have jobs. They all reported to work every day for a certain amount of years. Like, these are the best loans out there, and you need to be taking them, because the military is recession proof. So if there is a recession, military buyers are still moving every 2 years,
right?
Maybe sometimes quicker than that. They're all buying, and that if they're not part of your future plans on your book of business, then you need to rethink your strategy, because it's a huge, it's the best book of business that you can have out there. So I strongly recommend give us a look and let's change that perception.
I agree. I think that VA loans, I love talking about them. I love the fact that it is one of those benefits that we really do give, but the veterans really do get this benefit. And I love for them to be able to utilize it because of, I feel like anybody, all military, there's just a sacrifice there that if you haven't been in the military, you haven't made as a family, as an individual. And so one particular benefit that they can get, the VA loan, is just amazing. All right, Rob, one last question. It's a personal one. I ask pretty much everyone this, but I think especially on a Heroes Always Welcome show, it's a big deal. When I say the word hero, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Whew, you just talked about Nick Lavery that we had down at the Future Youth Speaking event. I mean, if you haven't watched this dude's story, please do. It's you know, I've heard some rumors about this guy for years from my friends up that I serve with, and it's crazy that the discipline, the positive attitude, just everything that you want to embody in yourself, like this guy's got it tenfold. And you know, when we started talking to him about coming onto the Future You event, I looked myself in the mirror and it's like, I gotta get in shape. I'm gonna be on stage with this guy.
That story still makes me laugh.
I'm gonna be on stage with this guy. I can't go up there, you know. So I'm started working out for 4 months ago, hardcore, you know, and it motivated me. It inspired me.
Yes.
And it's cool. And that, I mean, you know, I met some folks like that, but he takes it to a whole nother level.
He really, I agree with you. He really does. When I heard his story, every time he said something new, I just was still unbelievably like, I can't believe that I'm complaining about some of this stupid stuff I was complaining about or have complained about. He is just so inspiring. So you definitely want to check Nick Lavery out. Robert Lynn, thank you so much for being on the re-kickoff show for Heroes Always Welcome. We really, really do love our veterans and we love our community. And of course, we love all of our borrowers. We want to give back to the community and we want to do what's right by you. And you're right, it starts at the top. And this is the top man. Thank you for taking me into the family. I am honored and so excited to be part. Thanks, Rob, so much.
We're so stoked to have you in the Future family and to be in Orlando. Like I said, where I went to high school, it's near and dear to my heart. So we're going to come down there and take it to another level and look forward to meeting all you guys out there. And thank you so much for having me, Ted. It's been a blast.
All right. Thank you, Robert Lynn. You guys come back. If you have a veteran-owned business, somebody who wants to come on, talk about a cause that helps veterans, please reach out to me. I'd love to have you on the show. We'll be doing the show weekly. Rob will come on when he can, but we will have a veteran or something veteran-centric every single week on Heroes Always Welcome. Make sure you check it out. Thanks, everybody. Have a great